Hi, friends, and how are you today? I hope you're doing so great. Holiday season among us, and we're all having fun, I hope, enjoying ourselves. I'll tell you one thing, I'm not getting fat this year because nobody's cooking for me. I had a couple of cupcakes, a few other little things to eat, but it ain't the same. I don't know what's going on in my life, but things are changing all the time. But I do have a new surprise, which I can't tell you for a couple of months. But I'll be talking about it, and it's something that you'll never guess. But I want to talk to you today about some things that are people just want to talk about new movies, and they're always saying, "Oh, this movie's great, that movie's great, etc., etc., etc." You know, I was in the movie business. I had a movie studio. It's a long story. That's a long, drawn-out story. It's something that I will talk about at a future date. It will probably be in my book, and that's probably where you're going to hear all about that story because that was a crazy story. Took a couple of years out of my life, and the stress took probably years off my life is more like it. Before I start, though, I please beg you, tell your friends to please go onto my YouTube. It's Rick Sykes 305. Please subscribe. I'm trying to build that thing up. As I tell you all the time, I'm 10 years late on it. So the more I talk about it, hopefully you'll tell your friends, tune into Rick Sykes on YouTube, Rick Sykes 305. I appreciate it. But I want to get back to something that's pretty interesting and something that I have a thing for. And I know the younger generation has no idea what I'm talking about. The older generation, of course, knows what I'm talking about. Black and white movies. Yeah, there are such a thing as called black and white movies. And when I say black and white movies, people say, I don't want to watch that stuff. That's old fashioned. Well, I'm going to tell you something that you probably don't understand about black and white movies, the old black and white movies. The reason they were black and white movies is because there were no computers in those days. I mean, the silent films I couldn't get into too much because I really didn't like reading all these things going on and on and on because I got a little confused. I'd read the subtitle, and by the time I looked up, I mean, the scene was gone. I'm like, what the hell? So I usually would sit in a theater when I was a little kid and watch the movie, and I probably got only about 60% of what the whole movie was all about. Also, even the old cartoons, the old black and white cartoons done by hand, they were cool. I mean, this is all done by hand. People don't realize this. You know, today's generation, they see all this color. They see, people jumping from building to building, these cars turning into machines, rocket ships that are blowing up the earth, etc., etc. They didn't do it in those days, in the black and white days. The black and white days was what we call true movies, not CGI, not computer generated. And why I'm telling you this, look at, there were some fantastic actors in the old days. One of my favorite was Humphrey Bogart. I mean, I adored Humphrey Bogart. Rita Hayworth, just gorgeous. She wasn't made up like they are today. She had natural beauty. Even, well, you know who I'm going to say next? Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, yeah, she was in the color movies, but she was in some black and whites also. Stunning lady. Vincent Price, oh my God, he was fantastic. He was a scary guy. Bela Lugosi, the original Dracula. Well, he may not have been the original, but he was Dracula. Boris Karloff. You ever hear of him? Frankenstein. These are actors who really played the part. No computers. And the reason I'm telling you this is, just for the hell of it, when you have nothing to do, and I mean really just nothing to do, and you have a little time in your hands, pull up one of these movies. Pull up the movie Casablanca. And Follow it. I mean, don't get interrupted by your cell phone, etc. Watch the movie from the beginning to the end. You'd be shocked. I mean, listen, these movies were done before I was born. I mean, everybody says, oh, that's because it was your generation. No, it was before I was born. But remember something, I was in the movie business. So you folks who are not in the movie business, you're just being fed computer stuff. When I was in the business, I learned that the real, great, fantastic movies were the ones long before I was born. Buster Keaton, oh my God, he was hysterical. He would just make a look, and you'd crack up laughing. This is the way it should have been, and this is the way it was. And then somehow, somewhere along the line, the computers took over everything. So I know you people who are young and you think you know it all. Well, you know what? You may learn a little something. You may learn something. You may learn that some of these old classic movies, Gone with the Wind. Okay, yes, that was color. But Gone with the Wind, what a great movie. You would be so shocked if you would actually take the time and see one of these movies, one of these old movies. And when you do, you may become addicted to it like me. Again, I know what I'm saying, and I'm trying to teach you something. You may not agree with it, but at least give it a shot. And please, let me hear from you about this, because this is a topic that is really close to my heart. Being that I was in this business, I mean, you'd be surprised what I do know. And I'll tell you something. There's a lot of things I don't know, of course. But I know a lot more than you guys do, because that was my business. So keep that in mind. Listen, please get on my YouTube channel, Rick Sykes 305. Tell your friends. I'm going to keep telling you all these things. I'm going to keep talking. And I think you're enjoying it because I am getting more subscribers. So please subscribe. And listen, have the greatest day. And I love talking to you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. You know, one of these days I'll do another question and answer. And you can ask all the pertinent questions you want. Whatever you want to talk about. Okay? It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you.